folks, it's Ben. I'm here with Homestead. Today we're doing a show or a bit where we're building a chicken feeder, and we're going to be using a clear storage container like you see here. It doesn't have to be clear, but it's convenient because we know how much feed is in it. And then we're going to be using these elbows through the side to allow the chickens to reach into the bin and eat the food. So ideally we have our bin like this, we have our side here. We're going to be cutting a hole in the side and having the elbow stick through some. It'll be about actually an inch and a half off the bottom, and that way the chickens, we can fill the bin up full of food, and the chickens will be able to reach in and be able to eat the food, and then we can just fill it as they go along here. This container, we figured out, it's probably going to have about 6 nozzles in it. So there'll be 2 on this side, 2 on this side, of course, and 1 on each end. And that should provide enough area for the chickens to be able to eat at their leisure. We've talked about it, a couple designs. We were curious if the head's too deep for the chickens, but we're just gonna have to, other people have done it, seems to work for them, so we're gonna give it a spin as well. It's pretty easy to do and set up. We've got to drill obviously 6 holes. So we have a hole saw kit. With the correct hole saw, we should be able to just drill 6 holes in it that are approximately the right height up. And then you're gonna use silicone, a clear silicone in our case. It'll actually kind of glue these into the side there. And the websites we've seen say do it twice, you know, to reinforce it, because that will technically be the only thing holding the elbow up against the container. So with that, we'll get going. This isn't rocket surgery, so I'm just gonna mark 6 places and drill holes for them, but I do want to get the height correct. So I've got a Sharpie here, and I'm gonna put it down here, and this looks to be about right. So I'm just gonna mark the center, approximate center. That's where I'm going to drill my hole, and I'll just do this 6 times.
Don't move them too far over on the outsides, just so that we have room for the end ones, right?
Yep. Right. So with my 6 marks, I'm going to drill 6 holes.
And the advice you got was to let the hole saw heat the plastic a little bit so that it doesn't crack. So just let it sort of spin and heat the plastic, and then push it through.
So we have 1 hole, so before we go too crazy, let's test fit one. So we have our fit there, and when we silicone it, we'll tape it like, we'll set the board there, and then we'll silicone around the edge, and then we'll move on to the next one. Might get enough to hold them all up, so we can just silicone them all at once. We don't have enough parts to finish the project today. I need some more of these. But we can at least get a good start on it. So let's keep drilling holes anyway till we're done. I'm going to take this rusty metal blade here, and we're just going to use some clear silicone to seal the elbows to the container. And we will do 2 coats over several days. We don't need it right away for the chickens, so if we get her going this week sometime, that'd be cool. clean up the edge a little bit here with my knife as well. Since it did kind of melt through it. Cut off these little, that's just the melted material from what my saw was doing. Take my 3-inch piece, squeeze it through the hole here. It's about 1.5 inches up high, about where I want it to be. Good. And take my silicone. There it comes. And then we'll do the other side, I guess, and then we'll make it look all nice and pretty. I guess I shouldn't be stingy either. You're kind of using it as an adhesive. It will be hard to get around the bottom though. I guess it'll be alright.
Yeah, once it's done on one side, it should be okay.
Take my protected finger and just smear that around nice. But moving it.
Try with that.
So now that we've got one done, we'll do another one and come back and do the rest. And then we'll let them dry for a day, and I'll read the container, but we probably can recoat the next day. And this part will be done. So we'll see you in a day. Okay, so we've got the other 4 elbows installed. So we did what we said we would. We silicone the outside and the inside, and they're pretty rigid compared to the container here. And we use these blocks to make sure that they were spaced right, and now they are, and they're all set in here. So I've got some plastic scrap I'm gonna shake out since it should be pretty solid. So now our next move is actually go to the chicken coop. We'll put it in the floor and fill it with some food. All right, so we're in the chicken coop, as you can tell by the wood shavings and chickens that are floating around here. So we're just going to take a bag of layer ration chicken feed, which is what the chickens eat when they don't go outside, and just dump it in.
Perfect size cob, isn't it? Holds
That.
a whole 50-pound bag.
We'll see if they have the brains enough to figure out, like the 45 looks. Yeah, that's actually coming out of the 45 a little bit.
Oh dear.
So they'll figure that one out pretty quick.
That's really very similar to what they have been using already. So.
It is, so. You have a sucker?
Yep.
There's a sucker. I mean a chicken. They're going to peck at the box constantly though.
Because it's clear so they can see the food.
Yeah, you can see what to eat. You'll just have to figure out to stick your head in the little 90. We'll leave their other feeder up for now so they don't starve while they figure this one out. But if they use it, then we'll put it in service 100%. So that's our idea. We'll update you in a couple weeks as how it's going and if we do any modifications to it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And any comments, we'd like those too. Please subscribe to our channel, Red Barn Homestead, and I hope you guys have a good day.